Can you remember where you were the first time you saw Muhammad Ali step into that ring? Maybe you were a kid, watching with your father on a flickering black and white set. Maybe you were in a crowded room, everyone holding their breath as he danced. Those moments, they didn't just define boxing, they shaped a generation. Because in 1971, fresh off the fight of the century, Ali sat down and said something that even now, decades later, reveals a side of the king we rarely got to see. The year is 1971. Ali has just suffered his first professional loss to Joe Frazier. The world is in shock. He's in a legal battle with the government. His career is on the line, and the racial tensions in America are at a boiling point. Ali isn't just a fighter here, he's a philosopher in exile. If you remember the electricity of the 70s like I do, hit that subscribe button. These stories, these legends, they deserve to be remembered. Now, let's look at what Ali confessed behind the bravado. One of the most startling things Ali admits in this era is his warning to the youth. The man who made boxing global told young men not to be athletes. He called it too risky. He mentions himself and Joe Frazier getting a break, but warns that for most, if you don't have the talent or you break a leg, life becomes a tragedy. For Ali, the brain was always mightier than the fist. But here's the question nobody asked back then. Why would the greatest of all time tell the world his own profession wasn't worth the risk? Then there is the famous Army mental test. Ali laughs about it, but the weight is heavy. He tells the interviewer, "I told you I was the greatest, not the smartest." He recounts failing the math tests, the apples, the fractions, and the irony of being deemed mentally unable until he became a Muslim, at which point the narrative shifted. It shows a man who knew exactly how the system viewed him. Now, if you watched Ali during this era, you know that his humor was often his shield against a world that wanted to see him fail. The world heard him boast, but they didn't see the mercy. In his fight with Buster Mathis, Ali admits he lightened up. He saw a man semi-unconscious and refused to kill him for the crowd's entertainment. He says, "I didn't feel right. Two black men killing each other for a predominantly white audience." But the critics called it a farce. They punished his humanity. He was caught in a paradox. Cruel if he wins too fast, a fake if he shows mercy. This is the burden of being Ali. And finally, Joe Frazier. Even after the loss, Ali's respect is buried under his pride. He admits Frazier hit him so hard in the 15th round that it shook his folks in Africa. He predicts boxing's decline, noting that when one race dominates, the crossover interest dies. He was a promoter, a sociologist, and a fighter all at once. This interview, these words, this moment, they show us a man who knew his time was precious and his platform was temporary. This was the side of Ali that the history books often gloss over, the man who valued education over ego. But maybe that's exactly why he remains the greatest. What's your favorite memory of the Ali Frazier era? Drop it in the comments below. And if you want to keep these golden era stories alive, make sure you're subscribed